Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to PRL. We are in for Season 8, Round 1 at Great Britain, the Tier 2 race. Very, very exciting. I'm actually going to send myself into a party, just so I don't bother anyone in game chat who may or may not be listening through there. I'll just start a party. I'll just start a party with Northern Canuck. He doesn't have to join that, but just so I don't have to bother anybody in game chat. But let's get back to the racing. So, like I said, round 1, Tier 2, we are racing at Great Britain. Not a full lobby as of yet, but 17 drivers is still very good. Let me just bring up all my telemetry that I like. Tire, don't need that. Not that up, that map. Oh, beautiful. So, I commentated last race, these beautiful Tier 2 drivers did, at Spain. Much smaller grid, only 10 drivers, but looks like it's going to become a consistent thing, so hopefully I can get to know a lot of the drivers that are racing, so I can actually keep up with how everybody's doing. But for now, what I wanted to do was actually introduce all of the racers currently racing right now. So, starting with the IRL top team, the two Red Bull drivers of Dutch 88 driving for Red Bull, followed by Sati Jackie and the other Red Bull. Coincidentally, both of them are on track at the moment. Followed by the two Ferraris of, actually, yes, those are correct, not the full names, Reflex Matty and New Plies, and the other one. I believe both of these racers raced last week. Next up, we will go to the Alpines. I actually can't see that, but I know Hines is one of them, so that must be Corky. I don't know why I can't see his name. That's going to be a little bit annoying to deal with, but we'll deal with it. Followed by the Aston Martins of only Monkey Phil, and I believe Loki is a reserve currently because he is not on the roster list. Next up, we've got the Alfa Romeos of... I can't see either of them. That's even more concerning. Oh, we're going to have to fix that. But I assume that, both of them are Kev King and Sin Hero in the Alfa Romeos. Next, we have the Mercedes of Chaos Druid. And I believe he's actually the only Mercedes racing tonight. His teammate, Baba Yaga, is not here. The two McLarens of Camo Banana, who raced last week as well, and Flying Grayson, who has our first, lap, but that doesn't seem like an actual lap. And next, the Alpha Tauris of Timgra and Tafer, the two Williams of TAC Delta and your admin, Northern Canuck. And listing out, do we have any Haas's racing today? We don't. So Dookie Hoser and Tilwick are both not racing. So that is your official Tier 2 lineup for the season as it currently stands. So, who at comms? I am Vapors/Gourd Sauce Demerc. I just raced in Tier 1. I am relatively new to the server. Only just started racing with you guys this season. But I had some comm experience in the other leagues, so I decided, hey, if Tier 2 needed a comms, why not? Let's give it a go. And considering how well you guys raced last week at Spain for the preseason, I thought, hey, why don't we make this a common thing? I am Gourd Sauce. That is me, the one and only. And we have Northern Canuck, who has left the session. That's not very good. But enough of the chitter chatter. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, Dermer. You don't have your full name on Discord, so I didn't put two and two together. That's on me. But yeah, welcome to the stream. Now you can hear what I sound like. So let's go through the lap times currently. We have a 1:27.3 for Noob. That is the current provisional pole lap, followed by Sadie Jackie in the Red Bull, Monkey Phil with a 1:28.3 in the Aston, Noob's teammate Maddie in the Ferrari, Camo Banana in the McLaren, and Tac Delta in the Williams, Dutch in the Red Bull. I believe these three laps here don't. I wouldn't say they're representative of how fast these drivers are. Everyone's just getting used to it's their first actual proper league race at PRL this season in the new game, so everyone's going to have some kinks to work out. But I would like to try and find someone who is on a lap. Is Hines on a lap? It looks like Hines is not on a lap. He's got full ERS. Here we go. Chaos. He's on a lap. Let's pay attention to him. I saw a sector time of 1:04.5, which is actually very quick. Looks like this is going to be around a 1:07. Oh, just a bit above. 1:28.7. Who else do we got on track? We have both AlphaTauris. Timgra is on his outlap, and so is Tafer, so we'll keep an eye on them. I believe that is an Alpine on a lap. Hines is now not on his lap. Never mind. We have an Alfa Romeo who spun here. I am sorry to the Alfa Romeo drivers. Unfortunately, your numbers aren't on the roster, so I'm not going to be able to decipher which driver you guys are. If you are listening, if you guys want to tell me which one of you has the yellow helmet and which one of you has the red helmet, I will try and remember that. I don't know why your names are both blanked out. I've had that issue for a while. I'm not exactly sure what causes it, but I'll message you guys in the Discord after the qualifying is finished, so we can try and figure out who is who, and hopefully that doesn't become a concurrent issue with me streaming. You may as well stay on board with blank Alfa Romeo driver that I unfortunately cannot say who it is as of this moment. Is someone... It looks like Canuck is having some lag issues currently, because that doesn't look like it's supposed to happen. Why don't we hide the UI and let our unnamed Alfa Romeo driver here do their flying lap while I try and figure out who is the two Alfa Romeo drivers, or which helmets do they have. So I believe it seems that the lobby may be having issues because it seems like Canuck cannot take control of his car, which is permanently stuck in Sector 1 right here. I'm not sure what's going on there. I have seen that glitch in 2022. Have not seen that in 2021 though. Not sure what is going to happen here, but no decision has been made yet, so let's try. Oh, here we go. Once again, I cannot name this Alfa Romeo driver, but apparently he's got no ERS, but he was up almost 2/10 there. So that's actually rather impressive. Who do we got driving? Oh, Maddie's on a lap. Here we go. Show us what you got, buddy. I know you can go faster than 128.4. There you go. 4/10 up already. Just finished Sector 1. This is going to look like a good lap. Coming through the old pit straight. Through Cops. Let's see if he lets off the gas. No, he does not. Full on right through it. That's the way to take it. There, I don't believe that McLaren is on a lap, but if he is, he's going to give Maddie maybe some slight slipstream here. Might be a little too far ahead. A little bit of a moment there for Maddie. Keeps the car planted on the racetrack, though. Nice, a little bit off the throttle there. This looks like a good lap. 127.6, much better. Puts him up to P4, slightly behind his teammate. Only 2/10. So who is on the only potential drivers that are on laps here are Maddie, who just finished his. Noob is on a lap. Here we go. Provisional pole sitter, down a 10th and a bit. Oh, and now the host is migrating. Uh-oh. This may... Yeah, looks like the decision has been made to do a new lobby. So unfortunately, all of these times that we see here are not going to matter in the end. Which is unfortunate for Noob, because he's got provisional pole right now. Is he going to go faster here? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, so I believe that is a new lobby. So I will save us the time and exit to the main menu. And I mean, hey, I guess this is a good time for you guys to ask me any questions while we are waiting for the new lobby to appear. There's the invite from Canuck. Apparently the invitation has expired already. How am I, Doomer? I mean, considering how that race just went, I could be a little bit better. I'm not gonna lie. But, honestly, considering how the comeback came, I'm actually still relatively happy with my pace. Because, I mean, if we looked at the overall time, the drive-through penalty alone called me around, I think, 32 seconds total driving through that long pit stop. So I only finished 15 seconds behind Spot Up, who was the race winner. So, I mean, obviously a lot of things would have changed in between me fighting at the top and me kind of just driving on my own for 90% of the race. But, I mean, my pace looks good. I think we're going to have a fun season at AlphaTauri, and hopefully, I mean, hey, even P5 and P6 is really good. So, how are we doing, Camo? How are we doing, Pansy? How you feeling for the race tonight, Camo? Feeling good? Feeling not so good? Oh yeah, I have no doubt that we are going to be up there for the constructors very easily. Me and you seem... I mean, I don't know... I'd have to look at the race results to see how everybody finished in the end, but it looked like me and you had the closest finishing positions and most total points earned. So we'll see how that goes, because I'm actually pretty excited to actually see if I can win some races here. I definitely want us to get double podiums. 1-2s are definitely a possibility. Hey, Camo, I don't know how long you've been racing, but when I started, I was a disaster. I was so inconsistent at some tracks. Like, the best thing I can tell you really is, I know it's cliche, but practice literally makes perfect. I went from full traction control, ABS, auto gears to no traction control and only braking line. So like, everyone has the potential to be very quick in this game. And, you know, we're not driving, at the end of the day, we're not driving sim. This is an arcade slash sim. So, I mean, honestly, the thing that helped me the most in my pace was actually just driving league races. I went from, I believe my first league, I was tier 3, bumped up to tier 2, won the tier 2 championship in the league that I was in, and now I'm probably going to be in tier 1, and that's only been in about 2 years' time. So all of you drivers in tier 2, just because you're in tier 2 doesn't mean you're slow, and doesn't mean you're only going to be in tier 2. You all have the potential to be very quick drivers. And I am very excited to commentate you guys for the rest of the season, because if the racing in Spain last week was anything to go by, you guys are going to give me a good show. Hopefully I won't be alone for all the races. Hopefully I'll have a nice partner to talk to, and, you know, he'll see things that I don't see, because at the end of the day, you guys are going to be 15, 20 drivers at a time on track. There's only so much I can catch. But yeah, don't be too down on yourself, Camo. Looks like everybody's hopping in the lobby. Lovely. And yeah, if you guys listening are curious what happened in my tier 1 race, Shaft, the tier, I think he's a premium or I think he's a prem admin. He jumped the start by a little bit during the start of the race, and unfortunately for me, I jumped the start with him because I instinctively like, oh, there goes the leader, time to go, and we were only at like the 4th yellow light, or 4th red light. So that wasn't ideal, but I managed to bring it back to P6. Dermer, who I was talking to earlier, was P5, so that's actually really good points for us. So at the end of the day, I'm actually pretty happy about that. Absolutely, Camo. Dude, I'm telling you, every game that you play, I take the example of how I was in the start of 22 to how I was at the start of 23. 22, I was a disaster. Like, I feel like I couldn't even like get top 5s in just normal open lobbies. But now, you know, it's just consistent, you know, podiums. Every league that I'm in a league where I've been placed really well, and I'm always fighting at the top. So I'm actually, you know, it's nice to find a good group of drivers that you can just race and not have to worry about, you know, getting rammed, getting bumped. Everyone, you know, obviously mistakes happen in league racing. We're not professional drivers, but exactly. That's the biggest thing, Camo. I know it's cliche and everyone says it, but practicing literally will make you a better driver. Even me, like, I'll just go into like a time trial if I'm bored, and I'll just do like, I don't know, 3 tracks, 30 minutes each, just driving around, see what corners I can like pick up pace on, how to take them better. That's what's worked for me. So best thing to do, I know everyone wants to push because everyone wants to finish as high as they can, but honestly, finishing is the biggest thing at the start. You can race as fast as you can, as hard as you can. If you're not finishing the race, you're not getting any points. Although I do believe you guys at PRL do have a different point system, which I will have to get used to. Where is it? It's not there. I know it was in rules, I believe. You guys have different points for finishing positions, which is nice, because personally I don't believe that only the top 3 should get points. I do believe that if you're going to race for an hour and a half of your Sunday afternoon / evening, that you should, get rewarded for it, whether you're last or you're 10th or you're first. So I do like that change. I do like that this is one of the only leagues I've seen, at least, where everyone will get a point. Let me look at where I believe it's in rules where they show. Here we go. Yeah, so even if you're 20th, you're going to get a point. If you're first, you get 50, which I think is a very good change. So I do commend PRL on that. There you go, Pansy. That's all that matters. If you believe you can win this race, go win the race. That was your best result in PRL, Dermer? That's very surprising, because you are a very quick driver. I mean, I saw at the end of the race it was kind of just split into 3 packs, and I mean, you were at the tail end of the fastest group, so you only getting P5 as your best result is very surprising to me. I believe you're going to get much better results at the end of the day, at the end of this season, 100%. So, I'll take a quick look at the Tier 2 chat just to see what's going on. Looks like we're just waiting on a couple invites for people, and we'll be ready to go. This race will be a little bit delayed. We usually start at 3:30, but had a funky lobby, so we had to reset it, and unfortunately everyone's times that they set will not count. We will have a brand new short quali session, but at the end of the day that's not bad, because I think I missed like the first 5 minutes of the other one. I do wish I could ask Canuck if he can do it at the end of the day, just to put the numbers on the cars. I know it's not a big deal, but having the numbers for people would be, it's a little bit of customization, so. Also, if any of you, EA games, am I right? Yeah. Good old EA. Exactly. By the way, if you guys, I know a lot of commentators don't do this, but I know a lot of guys like customizing their helmets. So if you guys have, custom helmets that you do want me to show off at some point, or, talk about them, see how I think about them, I have no problem doing that. I love customizing my helmets for each team that I race for. I find that's a really fun thing to do. I also make like a custom badge. So if you guys do that, or if you guys just, if you're racing for McLaren, you put on an orange helmet, it's always nice to have a little bit of customization instead of, 20 drivers racing with the stock, bright yellow F1 World helmet. I believe that is everyone into the lobby at this point. I think so. I believe we are going to go racing very soon. I believe we are just waiting on Tilwick, and then we will be good to go. Oh, never mind. We are going right now. Perfect. Second time's the charm, am I right, boys? Let's pray to the EA gods that we don't have any more issues. Have a look at your helmet camo? Will do. Yep, quali again, Polani, because I believe some drivers didn't even get to... the lobby was very funky, and I believe like 6 drivers weren't even able to set their laps. So we reset the lobby. Hopefully everything's good now, and everyone's just going to get a big reset, and hopefully no more issues. You know, good old EA. I will give your helmet a good look camo. I will let you know how it looks. Exactly, Grayson. You get it. Alright, so, while nobody's out there, let me just bring up that. Yep. Don't need any details. If you guys are running mediums, I'm going to give you a bonk on the head. Shouldn't need to slip on the tires. Alright. Oh, someone has left the session. Unfortunately, I'm still having the issues with not seeing any drivers. Or some drivers, including both Alfa Romeo drivers again. God. I can't even see Camo's name, but at least I know that Grayson in the other McLaren is not him, so... Anyways. Before everyone sets their laps, let's take a look at your helmet camo. Unfortunately, it's showing my badge on your helmet. I don't know why it does that, but... Ooh, okay, so it's like a... I don't know if you were going for a military look for your helmet. Looks like a very, like, military green. A little bit of darker yellows in there. A little bit of red, too. I like it. I like it. I dig it. Personally, I'm, like, obsessed with making my helmet look like the paint scheme of the car that I'm driving. I know that doesn't always look amazing, but I just find it always looks good, so that's usually what I do. So, oh boy, we got a big train, and Canuck just retired from the session. What happened? Canuck is around. Let's see if his teammate will give us... Oh, he's gone. I believe Canuck just crashed out. That is not a great start for our Tier 2 admin. I'm not sure what happened because he was halfway down the straight, so... Alright, let's try and get this order properly. So we do have an Alfa Romeo who's the first driver to set a lap. Once again, apologies to the Romeo drivers. I am... The Tier 2 lobby is glitched again? I'm not seeing anything. All I saw was "This is Madness" from Corky. Hopefully that's nothing, and maybe he just saw Canuck crash in front of him. Like I was saying, apologies to the Alfa Romeo drivers. I cannot see your names. I am not sure who is who. I know both of you are Kev King and Sin. Unfortunately, I cannot decipher which one you guys are unless I'm told which helmets you guys are wearing. So if someone tells me that eventually, I will make sure to try and remember that. So we have our first Alfa Romeo driver, Alfa Romeo driver 1, to he's going to be the first driver to finish a lap. Little rough through Maggots and Beckett's there. Once again, a very tricky section in any F1 track. Whoever this is also has very low ERS. I'm not sure if they maybe ran it before they started their lap, but this is going to affect their time a good bunch. 128.8. I believe we have is this an Aston Martin and the other Alfa Romeo like racing here? What's going on? Loki sets a 129.4. He was just next to the other Alfa Romeo driver. I'm not sure what happened there. Camo sets the provisional pole. Flying Grayson sets 135. What do we got next coming up? Dutch 88, 129.9. That looks like an Alpine coming. He's on his outlap though. I think the other Red Bull is Salty is about to finish his lap. 128.5, that puts him P2. And Tac Delta in the Williams at 129.6. We also have a Alpha Tari of Tafer with a 129.6. Almost at the same time as Tac Delta, beats him by 5 thousandths. And Noob Plies, once again, takes provisional pole in his Ferrari. Monkey Phil finishing his lap. Where does he finish? 128.0. That puts him P2. And that looks like our final first runs, apart from Chaos, who is just starting his lap in the Mercedes. Okay, Pansy, so you're Phil. Okay, never mind, you're Salt. You're Sadie. Okay. Understood. I'm telling you. Everyone worries too much about quality. The race is 26 laps. Lots of time for the front runners to make a mistake. Chaos just set a purple Sector 1. Let me just put the spectator menu away so we can get a better look at his car. Once again, not sure who this Alpine driver is, but actually, I can figure that out because I know who the other one is. Who is our provisional pole sitter? Our provisional pole sitter is Hines. Good lap, my friend. Alright, I was just informed that Kev King is the Alfa Romeo driver with the red helmet. So we can now figure out who is who. So thank you, Canuck, for that. I believe the only driver on a lap right now is Grayson. He's 4 tenths up. Good start. Lots of ERS left. Very nice through Maggots and Beckett's. Up a second and 2 tenths. This is going to look like a good lap. It should put him, if he doesn't lose any time, it'll put him around P9. But still lots of time to gain through the final 3 corners. A little wide, and there's the spin. Yup, that corner gets you. If you go wide on that corner, it's going to get you. Yeah, no worries, Canuck. I just saw your message in general. Lots of connection issues there at the start, but looks like everyone's going okay now. Tilwick seems to be our only Haas driver, but he does come into the pit, so it doesn't look like he liked the lap he was putting together. So now, I believe our nearest driver is Chaos. He's on his cooldown lap. He just did his lap. Camo is doing his out lap. And Hines is... Is Hines on a lap here? No, Hines is way too low on ERS. I think he's just driving the lap. So yeah, that's the first run of everyone's times. We have a 127.4 by Hines. A little bit of a lag session right there, but doesn't seem like anyone left. A 127.6 by Noob. A 128.0 by Monkey. A 128.05 for Chaos. Very close between the top 3 and 4. Camo with a 128.3. Who looks like he's just about to start his lap. So why don't we race on board with him? Show us what you got, Camo. Oh, and Camo loses it in Maggots and Beckett's. That looked like a very good lap, too. Unfortunate. What do we have next? Is Snoop behind him? Looks like Noob is just starting his lap, so let's ride alongside with him. We have a new provisional pole. I believe that is Kev King. It is. Does Noob have an answer? Doesn't look like it. He's 2 100ths down. Can he make up time through Maggots and Beckett's here? Full throttle through here, a little bit of coasting here. Full, a little bit off again. Full throttle through here. Cut in nice. A little wide, didn't hit the apex. This looks good. Unfortunate. Noob down 2 100ths. So a new pole sitter, Kev King, in the Alfa Romeo. Does anyone have an answer to his 127.0? Monkey, I believe, just did a lap. I believe Chaos is on a lap here. Right alongside with him. Down 5 100ths, so not too bad. Looked a little rough through that corner entry, but probably didn't lose too much time through there. I believe Tilwick is about to finish his lap here, so let's just give him some limelight here. I want to see what kind of lap he puts in. Well, this actually looks pretty quick. 127.7 puts in P5. Great lap. Where's our Mercedes driver? There you are. Perfect apex again, not too much throttle to spin. 127.7, 3/10 up, puts Chaos P7. Lots of 7s in there. Who do we have next? Looks like a McLaren may be the next runner here. Yep, Grayson, almost a second. Nice apex. A little slow through there. You can definitely take that a little bit quicker. So 123 puts Grayson up to P13. Big improvement, but unfortunately not a lot of positions gained, but hey, he's got another run in him. So it looks like we may have a Williams who's on the... Tack is off his lap currently. Hines on the lap. Hines is on the lap. Up 5 100ths. Up 5 tenths. Oh my. This is going to put him in the 126s if he keeps this up. Will we see our first 126 in Tier 2? Oh, almost lost the car there. Oh, just a 126.9. Hines definitely has more pace in him there. It looked like he lost about almost 2 tenths, 3 tenths to just that last corner. But we have our first 126 of Tier 2. Great lap, my friend. And looks like everyone else is prepping to get their final runs in. We have an AlphaTauri who's very slow here. I believe Tafer was waiting for Grayson to drive by, but Grayson is headed into the pits. Never mind. I'm not exactly sure what's going on with Grayson here because he doesn't have enough ERS to really pull a lap here. I guess he just told himself he didn't have enough time to go into the pits to put on new tires, so he's just going to send it with the ERS he has now. So follow along with Grayson and Tafer as they do their laps. They're very close to each other. You see Grayson just ahead on the straight in front of Tafer. Looks like we have a Sadie fan in here. Charlie Codd cheering on his boy. Slow car there, but well out of the racing line. Tell you what, Grayson, if you set your fastest lap here with almost no ERS, it's going to be very unfortunate. And he's up 3/10. Oh no, it's going to be very unfortunate that you can get a new set of tires on with full ERS. Little wide there. And that is the end of Grayson's qualifying. Tafer goes up a second and 2/10. That puts him P11. It's going to be hard to keep track of everyone, but I will do my best. Monkey Phil is not on his lap. He's about to start his. We'll get back to him. Matty in P6. He's up 8/10. Okay, he's up 4/10. I was going to say 8/10 in Sector 1 is a ridiculous time gain. Taper is slow. Timgra also just started his lap. So I believe our next in line is Loki. Never mind, Loki has not started his lap either. I'm trying to find where the train actually starts. Okay, so it starts with Sadie in the Red Bull. He's almost out of ERS, but he's up 5/10. A little bit rough through there. Hines will not be able to set another lap. Jackie gains 8/10, but it only moves him up to P12. And Matty moves up to P3 with his lap. And Noob was on his final lap, but it doesn't look like he's going to gain. Oh, he does! He just beats out his teammate by 3/100ths. We have a McLaren coming. I believe this is Camo. Up 7/10, but doesn't move up. We have an Aston Martin who's off track, so Grayson is in the pits, followed by an Alfa Romeo. So I believe Timgra is our next driver to cross the line. He's not up a lot. Does he gain a little bit here? He does. 5/10 puts him P3. I believe Tack just finished his lap. He does not gain any positions. We have an Alpine of Corky coming. He's up 5/10. This should put him up a couple positions. P9 for Corky. So Chaos is coming into the pits. That is his qualifying finish, and that should be everyone finished. Your pole sitter is Hines with a 126.90, followed by Kev King with a 126.992. Provisional pole, I would say, only split by 9/100ths. And he's followed by Timgra in the AlphaTauri, a 127.2. Noob Plies with a 127.5. Matty with a 127.56, just beat out by his teammate. Tilwick and the Only Haas with a 127.7. Chaos with a 127.73. Monkey Phil with a 128.0. Corky with a 128.2. And rounding out our top 10 is Tac Delta and the Williams with a 128.279. That was a very good good qualifying, gentlemen. As we go through the order, Polani saying Hines is the guy to beat. Kev King's not far off his tail. Don't count out anyone in the top 10, really. And that is your running order. Unfortunately, Canuck crashed out on the front straight on his outlap, so he will be starting at the back. We know Canuck has a lot of pace in him, so be looking for him to make his way up the field. And now, we wait for the race start. Unfortunately, if you guys did not hear, we will not have formation laps on currently due to, I believe there's some glitches with the formation lap, so the drivers will be starting at the grid already set. So no one will have a chance to warm up their tires perfectly. The tires are a little bit warmed up, so they won't all be burning out on, very cold tires, but if people starting on hards or even mediums, it's going to be a little rough to get those puppies up to temperature. So, everyone in the chat, do we have predictions? I like to do a top 3 prediction. Obviously, don't just take the hard medium is indeed the safe option, Polani. I believe I ran a medium soft in the in our Tier 1 race. I believe that is the overall quickest setup. Oh, and we're racing here. 5 lights, and we're off. No drive-through penalties. Oh, man. It's caught me off guard. Gotta get the details. Let's get the position changes. Looks like everyone's clean. I'm not too fast. Come on. Oh, looks like a McLaren wide back there. Lots of position changes. Kev King he did pass Hines at the start of the race, and these two guys are already away. Looks like we have a little bit of issues at the back. Chaos, that's going to be a rough start for him. He was P7. Tafer as well, down to last position. So apart from the Alfa Romeo here, looks like our bottom 3 lost a lot of positions. Canuck, like I said, already up 8 positions. Loki up 7. Corky up 3 from P9. Maddie's up 2 from P5. He's passed his teammate and Timgra. Let me get the gap to the leader. Maddie's used a good chunk of ERS. Hines, not so much. Same for Kev King. Looks like the field has set itself down a little bit. Get the intervals just to see. I like to get every driver going through one corner here. Two Williams battling each other here. I wonder if there's going to be any team orders there. No problem, Dermer. Oh, that's not what I'm looking for. Where are tires? There we go. So, for the most part, the top 10, all on mediums. Loki and Grayson are the 2 drivers on softs, and Chaos, Dutch, and I believe this is Camo, all started on hards. So unfortunately, it does look like the hard drivers couldn't get their tires warmed up well enough and had either very slow corners or they just had moments which cost them a lot of positions. And we're back with our leader, Kev King, who is in front by, oh, he was in front by a second, but now it's down to 9/10. He's definitely going to, I would use some ERS here, personally, to try and get out of DRS of Hines, but like I said, everyone has their strategies. I don't see no penalties yet, so we will keep the position changes up for now. So our big gainers currently are Canuck and P9. And, oh, looks like Canuck just got by his teammate. Oh, they're battling. Oh, looks like no team orders at Williams today. Look at this scrap. And, never mind. Looks like Tack does let his teammate go by. They had a little bit of scrap there. I thought that was going to be, all out there, but looks like Tack let his teammate go by. So we'll see if he can catch the group ahead of him. Canuck already the biggest mover, 10 positions. No one else is really even close. Corky's the highest besides him, who's under pressure from Noob here. Oh no, and Corky loses the car, and Matty had nowhere to go, and that is a virtual safety car. Corky has no wing. That is unfortunate for Corky and Matty. I don't believe Matty has any wing damage. It didn't look like he did. And that is a virtual safety car. That's going to get everyone to calm down a bit. As the field goes by here. This, I don't think it's going to change much. That is very unfortunate for Corky, because he was having a very good scrap, and he was already up 5 positions from where he started. He just lost the car a little bit. Matty had nowhere to go, bounced off his Ferrari and into the wall. I think Corky's best bet here is to slap on the hards and no pit stops. And that is going to be a 5-second speeding penalty for Corky. He went in way too fast there. I think Corky may be feeling a little bit heated at the moment. But that is not going to help the situation he was unfortunately put in. That does look like very much a racing incident, but he does put on the hards, puts on his new wing. He did not. Oh, and Grayson going too fast under VSC. That is going to be a drive-through penalty. That is not what the McLaren driver wanted to see at all. I think it's time to bring up the penalties now, because it looks like we've got a couple. Kev King has a drive-through penalty. He was going too fast under VSC, and that is gonna... Oh, no. From potential race winner to... This is not looking good, because we just had a virtual safety car, so he's not going to gain any time here. He's not going to go in right away. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I had to drive through in my race. I feel like getting it over with right away is the best decision. So taking into the drive-through into consideration, oh, we got a lot of penalties coming up. Chaos has a track limits penalty. Corky has a speeding penalty. Loki has a track limits penalty and a speeding penalty. I did mention this in the preseason race last week, but there does seem to be a bit of a tendency for the drive. Oh, and Kev King almost loses the car. This is going to set up Hines perfectly with DRS and overtake. I think Kev King's just got to let him go by here, because you're just going to lose more time. And there is Hines into P1 position on track. Kev King is not backing down, though. That is very unfortunate for Kev King. I do understand his pain. Dermer and Polani can attest to drive-through penalties kind of screwing over your end race result. We do have a position change between Chaos and Sadie. It looks like Chaos got by him before Maggots and Beckett's. So that puts Chaos P10, but he's really net P12 at the moment with that penalty. And Kev King has not come into the pits yet. It looks like he's going to wait the full 3 laps to get that Alfa Romeo into the pits. Looks like the field has calmed down a little bit. Looks like we have a 3-car battle here between a Mercedes. Yep, Mercedes, Sadie, and I believe that is Sin in the other Alfa Romeo. Oh, too wide here. Keeping it. Oh, Sin loses the car a little bit on the curb. Oh, loses the car again. Ooh, taps the side of Sadie. No, nothing comes out of it. Sin losing 2 positions to Sadie and Chaos, and it looks like Chaos is going to stay ahead due to getting DRS. Oh, and Sadie, we just saw that track limit. That is going to give him a 3-second penalty. Oh, Chaos almost loses the car there. Sadie has much more ERS than Chaos does at the moment. I think the best thing for Sin to do right here is to just follow these guys, followed by Monkey, who's just kind of watching all this, licking his lips. Because these look like net positions he could gain here. Not exactly the greatest camera angle. There is the 4-car battle for P9 at the moment. And Kev King is finally in. That is going to serve his drive-through penalty and put him down, I think, to P13. But Kev King does have the pace to make it up, so he's just got to get his head down and drive that Alfa Romeo's tires off the car. That leaves Hines with a almost 5-second gap to our now P2 Maddie and Noob, both in Ferraris. Funnily enough, you would never see Ferrari in this position in real life, so let's hope the boys don't screw it up. Followed by Timgra, who started P3, so he's not far off where he started. Tilwick in P5, who I believe started P6, so a couple gains, and of course our biggest mover of the day currently, our man Northern Canuck, started dead last, is now P6, followed by his teammate of TAC Delta a little bit further behind. This has been a very eventful start of the race. Looks like this 3-way, 4-way battle isn't going away just yet. That almost looked like track limits for Chaos again. I'm telling you, Cops gets people out. If you don't take that corner correctly, you're going to get track limits. Oh, and Chaos is off the track, and that is a brutal DNF. That is also a fun glitch right there. And that is a virtual safety car. Let's get away from that. We don't need to see a dead man in the car. And that is a virtual safety car. It's not going to be a full safety car, it doesn't look like. Wow. We just saw a man die, and that is going to be a virtual safety car. Interesting decision by the FIA there. Unfortunate for Chaos, just losing the car at the end of Maggots and Beckett's. Straight into the wall, and that is going to be, yeah, that would be probably a red flag, to be honest, Polani, because Chaos jammed his Mercedes straight into that barrier, and Loki gets a drive-through penalty for the virtual safety car ending. I'm going to say that was a very quick virtual safety car. That lasted like 15 seconds. I think they have Superman moving the cars when they crash out, because that was a ridiculous VSC time. So unfortunately, Loki gets caught out by it, and that will be a drive-through penalty for him. On board with Noob, who's got his teammate around 1.2 seconds behind him. Actually, we just missed the pass because Maddie was ahead, and Maddie might get caught up by Timgra here. Oh my God! Almost looks like Maddie almost tapped the side of Timgra there. I didn't think he realized how close he was. Maddie's not letting it go. Too wide. Oh, a little bit of lag there. Timgra's not going to have the car space to get a switchback, and that is Maddie back into P3. A little bit of lag there, but overall no contact. Tilwick watching this with interest. The more these two battle in front of him, the more that's going to get him closer into DRS range. Let's see how this unfolds. A little bit wide for Tilwick. That's not going to give him a very good exit. This is a nice little camera angle. Timgra going for the move again. Maddie very wide, but he's going to go for the switchback. Oh, he's got the... he's going to have to go for another switchback. Can he make it stick? No, he cannot. Although Maddie does have more ERS, if he wanted to use it, he maybe could have got by Timgra there. And Tilwick not far behind, and look who it is again, Northern Canuck, sneaking up on this group. He's got a lot of ERS left here. If he can get a nice Magus and Beckett's here, he might be able to catch a couple cars out. Timgra's going to get eaten alive here. He's got no ERS, no DRS. He moves to the inside. He manages to keep Maddie on the outside. No contact. Can Tilwick make a pass here? Maddie does get by. Can Tilwick get a switchback? Maybe. No, he cannot. That is Maddie and Timgra switching positions back to back on lap 9 and 10. It seems like Tilwick just can't get that exit. Oh, and Timgra cuts the first corner, and that's going to give him a 3-second time penalty. This is a great battle between these three drivers, about to be four, because look who is looking at this battle. Northern Canuck is catching these guys pretty quickly. Further at the front, Noob has shrunk Hines' lead to around 4 seconds. It was 5 the last time we looked at it. And it looks like Hines does have a McLaren who's ahead of him. That looks like it's Grayson. A downshift for Hines there. That might lose him a little bit of time. A little bit, not a lot. Maddie is going to have a little bit of ERS to defend here. Timgra does back to 13%. The lag isn't really telling us what kind of line they're actually taking here, but Timgra does get a good launch. He's going to have DRS. He's not going to use his ERS. You might be able to get by with just his DRS. Maddie's going to pull the switch back. No, he does not. He cuts back. Oh, and Timgra into the pits. That is him going to be switched. And Timgra with a 5-second time penalty for speeding. That is unfortunate. Back-to-back penalties on back-to-back laps. That's what I'm telling you, Polani. I feel like a lot of people don't... I mean, the speed limit at Silverstone is very slow, and it does catch you out sometimes. But I feel like people do need to... When I wasn't really knowledgeable on the speed limits and how to get into the pit lanes, when I was learning league racing, I just practiced it during time trials. I just practiced entering the pits, what speed I was supposed to go to. And that helped me, but I'm telling you, dude, these 5-second time penalties, they kill you in a race. And Timber comes back out P11 on the hards with an 8-second time penalty. So unfortunately, he is going to come back with the undercut. He's probably going to be P3 in front of Maddie, but with his penalties, it's considering how close Canuck and Tilwick stay, that could lose him 3 positions. Tilwick is getting closer and closer, and Maddie is into the pits. Will Maddie get a penalty? He does get a penalty. Boys, we gotta slow down. These penalties are killing your race. I mean, at this point, Canuck's pace, and he doesn't have any speeding penalties or track limits penalties. It's looking good for him. And now, Tilwick is kind of... Oh, and we have a retirement, I think. Do we? We do not. Corky pulled the same move that Chaos did, but I believe he hit the wall much less quicker, and he's lost his full front wing again. So, this may seem... I mean, it is bad, but Corky is going to be able to pit here. Probably put on... He doesn't pit? Does Corky have a wing left? He does. Okay, my apologies. I thought he had no wing and he was going to be forced to pit there. It looks like he actually didn't hit the wall. He kind of just lost the car a bit. Canuck is a very consistent driver. I raced him in another league. That's how I met him. And then he told me about PRL, and here I am. But the man of the hour right now is still Mr. Hines, who is coming into the pit. Will he get a speeding penalty? Lee's going nice and slow. And he still gets a speeding penalty! Oh, boys! And a speeding penalty for Noob! Oh my goodness. Tilwick and Canuck managed to not get penalties, so these two drivers right here are net P1 and 2. And with the pit stops going around, it looks like Tack will take the lead of the race for a little bit. Yeah, the entire grid is, the penalties are not looking good. So Tack is your current leader of the race, but he will have to perform his pit stop at some point. His teammate Canuck did perform his already, so there shouldn't be any, there won't be any mishaps with there. And, I mean, we didn't talk about him much after his drive-through penalty, but Kev is back in P2. He unfortunately has to pit, but if he's taking these mediums long and maybe hoping for a safety car, this could be a good move for him because, I mean, looking at P3, 4, and 5, they got 5 seconds, 8 seconds, 5 seconds. If Kev has the pace and he can catch up to them a little bit, he could still be in for a good position. Oh, and that's Tack a little bit wide there. And we have a yellow. That looks like an AlphaTauri. Is that Tafer? It is. Looks like he went wide after leaving the pits. I believe he is on new sets of tires. He is not. He is on old mediums. So this is our running order as we see it. I just saw yep, Loki is in for his pit. Loki is going to get rid of a 5-second penalty here due to his pit stop. And Tack is, he's got Kev King right on his heels. This is probably, this is for actual position gain here because these two drivers have not pit yet. Hines, however, here has pit, followed by Timgra and Noob. Noob is right, he's back on the bumper of Timgra. Can he make a pass? They're both on hards. And Sadie Jackie on new hards. That's the fastest lap of the race. That is a net point for him. Will Noob make a pass here? Timgra moves out of the way, wants the inside line. Takes it nice and slow. Maddie is going to get that position, or not Maddie, Noob. Although Noob has no. Oh, and Tafer with a 5-second speeding penalty. I think we're gonna have to count how many speeding penalties at the end of the race because this is getting a little bit on the ridiculous side. But back to the battle at the front. We've got Hines following these two drivers of Kev King and Tack. They both should be pitting very soon here. They're still staying out though, so Hines is going to have to pass them legitimately if he wants to start gaining more time on Timgra. Timgra is also under pressure from Noob, although Timgra does have, that is a good guess. I think That is what I did, Polani. I waited till this lap specifically to go on softs, and I think Kev King is going to do the exact same thing. Kimbra is holding off Maddie here, but we can see tire usage there. Here's your tire usage. So the only ones to not have pit are Dutch, Tack, and Kev King. And that is a full course safety car due to Sin retiring. Oh man. And who does that benefit? These two drivers right here who waited to get onto the soft tires, and Tafer gets a drive-through penalty for speeding. Oh man. So looking at it right now, they're still going to lose positions, but Kev King and Tack are not going to lose as much time for their pit stops. This is going to help Kev King, I think, the most. Kev King's got very good pace, and if he's starting directly behind a lot of drivers, they better watch out, because he's going to be on the fastest. Did Maddie, did you just get track limits during a safety car? My man. Come on. The boys gotta watch out for the speeding penalties here. And Maddie is coming in. I think he's gonna swap out those hards for softs. Don't get it. What just happened? What did Maddie just have like a moment trying to slow down and DNF himself, or was that? I'm not gonna make any assumptions here, but I really do hope that was not a purposeful DNF. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, this pit lane, I don't know what we did in our Tier 1 race, but whatever the Tier 2 guys are dealing with, it's something. And look who is in front of the grid right now. I'm not sure what happened, Dermer, because there was a little bit of lag there, but from what we saw, it looks like Maddie was going a little bit too fast, maybe turned the car trying to slow down more, and hit the wall and DNF'd himself. I'm not sure what's... And Grayson gets a drive-through for falling too far back. Okay, we need to see the penalties here. Okay, so thankfully for at least the front six, they do not have to deal... I opened the race menu and smashed into the wall. Yep, that would do it, Maddie. I assume your AI tried to take over and stay on track and then smashed it into the wall. That's probably what happened there if you open the pause menu. That is unfortunate because you were having a really good race, Maddie, regardless of the penalty you had, and it looked like, you know, going on to softs was going to be the right decision. And your AI decided, nah, I'd rather go home early. So, counting out any other pit lane shenanigans and any pit stops, this is going to be your starting order of Northern Canuck, Tilwick, Kev King, Tack Delta, Hines, Noob, Timgra, Dutch, Monkey, and Sadie, your top 10. That is precisely what happened, Polani. I believe because Maddie already made his pit stop on the hards, the AI was like, I don't want to go into the pits. So it tried to turn back on track, and unfortunately, the AI doesn't actually have eyes. It has a pathing, and there was a wall in that pathing, and it decided, you know what? I'm fine, I want to go home early, and that's what they did. So, unfortunately for Maddie, next time he will have to remember to pause the game after he enters the pit lane. Or else the AI will do silly things like what we just saw. And going through the penalties, They have died down a little bit. Everyone seems to have served some 5-second speeding penalties when they pit. So Timgra is down to 3 seconds, Sadie is down to 3, Camo is down to 3. Unfortunately, Grayson and Tafer are both going to have to serve a drive-through penalty. Is Tilwick on the softs? Is he on the softs? No. The first 3 drivers are on hards. The next driver who is on softs is Tac Delta, followed by Hines on mediums, Noob, Timgra on softs, Dutch on mediums, Monkey on mediums, and Jackie on mediums. Yeah, unfortunate for you, Maddie. You were having a very solid race, and hey, only one of, I think, 14 races this season, so you can always come back next week. Honestly, Pelani, it's looking like a very good race for the Williams right now. Because Canucks got pace, and if he can keep Tilwick and Kev behind him, that gives more of a chance to Tac to actually get some passes done. I believe we're going to have one more safety car lap for Grayson and Tafer to catch up. Loki, unfortunately, is caught in the middle of the pack, so he's going to be starting in the middle of the pack. He will not be able to unlap himself. Precisely. We saw a little bit of team orders earlier, Dermer. It seems like Tac did willingly move out of the way of Canuck when they were battling at the start straight. So I'm not sure what kind of pace Tac is going to pull out of those softs, but if he does catch Canuck, I'm not sure who's going to get the preferential treatment. I don't know if they're going to pull a Mercedes in 2016 and just let them race. We will have to see with now 9 laps to go. And for those who are curious, these are the penalties. Grayson and Tafer, unfortunately, cannot serve their drive-through penalties under safety car. So them driving through the pit lane currently actually doesn't do them anything. I feel like a lot of people actually don't know that, but that is the, you will have to serve it actually under racing conditions. So that will put them net P14 and 15, unfortunately. I do believe we will be going racing at the start of the next lap. The top 10, Canuck, Tilwick, Kev King, Tac Delta, Hines, Noob, Timgra, Dutch, Monkey, and Sadie. Tell you what, guys, Kev King is back in this race. He got pole position. He is technically, if we go off qualifying, the fastest man on track. Everyone's going to have full ERS, full DRS in 3 laps after. So really, I mean, anyone in this top 8, 9, 10 could win this race depending on what happens in front of them. But the guy leading them to the green is going to be Northern Canuck. Safety car in this lap. Here we go, gentlemen. Where will Canuck start the field off? Just about to go under green. And it looks like Canuck is going. Started the jump really early, and he is coming to the start straight with Tilwick and Kev right behind him. Come to think of it, Kev had a very good launch, but he went wide, and here comes Tac on the softs. Ooh, slows down a little bit, didn't want to risk anything. Positions do stay the same between the top 4. Noob and Tigra going at it again. Oh, Timgra does smack into the side of Noob there. There was not enough space. That's going to cost him maybe... Oh, please tell me Dutch saved that. Okay, Dutch saved it. Timgra didn't leave enough space for Dutch there, and Dutch is probably going to maybe lose 2 positions here. Oh, Dutch is gonna. Yep, Dutch lost to Monkey and his teammate Sadie. And the front of the field is already gone between Canuck, Tilwick, Kev, and Tack. The next driver of Hines, who was leading this race for most of the race, is now 2.5 seconds back. And Loki with a 3-second time penalty. We will bring up the penalties for anyone curious. Which I'm surprised about, Polani, because it looked like Hines was the fastest man on track at the start. He's on... I don't know what tire he's on, but... I mean, he's only on 3-lap old medium, so I don't understand why... maybe he had a little bit of a moment and he couldn't stay with the field. We do have a spin. That is an Alpine of Corky. Corky has not had a very fun race so far. Oh, we have a severe collision. What happened? Oh no, not more pit lane shenanigans. Monkey retired in the pits. Dutch and Tafer both have 5-second time penalties. I believe one of them, Dutch, did get a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision. So Tafer may not have gotten this 5-second time penalty legitimately. He may have gotten hit by Dutch. We will see what happens. Dutch already serves his 5-second penalty. And back at the front, Kev King has passed Northern Canuck. Canuck was unable to hold Kev King back even without DRS. And Northern Canuck here, if he wants to win this race, he's got to stay within DRS of Kev King here. And it doesn't look... I mean, he's just in there. DRS will be active the upcoming lap. Tack also does have a 3-second penalty. It looks like he was pushing too hard, and he did go over... Yep. That is going to cost him... I mean, everyone... the other drivers under him, that's going to cost him P5 and 6. And Northern Canuck is out of DRS. DRS is enabled. Kev King is out. Canuck is now going to have to defend between Tilwick and maybe his teammate. Here comes Hines. He shrunk that 2-second gap very quickly. There is going to be a little bit of a DRS train starting here between basically P2 all the way down to P7. You are correct, Polani. That is... We're going off pure team game. That is the best he can do. Unfortunately, Tack cannot defend Canuck against Tilwick. Although looking at the ERS, Tilwick does have a little bit less than Canuck. And Noob gets by Tack. Tack is now down a position. And he is under threat from Timgra. This is sketchy to go too wide here. Oh my god, almost 3 wide. Tafer gets a 3-second penalty. Hines somehow made up a position passing Timgra while he had to slow down for Tack, and he is going to fly by Tack. Tack has no ERS. 3 wide here. Keep it clean. Tack goes wide, loses the position to Timgra, and Tack going from P4 looking like he could have had a chance to win this race, and he is now down to P7. That is not the lap that Tack wanted. And Tilwick also gets by Canuck, so Canuck is dropping down the order slightly. With just under 5 laps to go, Canuck is going to have DRS on Tilwick. He has over half. He is making the move on the inside. It looks like he gets by. Tilwick still on the outside, goes wide. Here comes Noob. This is going to be a 3-car battle into Cops. Who is going to back out? Who is not? Canuck uses his ERS to get by Tilwick. Tilwick almost pulls a Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. Here comes Hines on the outside, gets by 2 cars. And Hines is now back into the podium positions. Timger gets another 3-second time penalty. We have a 6-car battle here for P3, and unfortunately for P2, and Canuck is not going to have any DRS. He may lose 2 positions here. Hines is by. Noob makes the move on the inside. He has the softs. They make slight contact. Canuck stays ahead, and that is a safety car because of a McLaren flying Grayston who crashes out at the end of turn 1. He is not retired. The safety car is out. That is a complete reset of the field. Kev King's gap of almost 3 seconds is now completely gone. This safety car is probably only going to last around a lap or 2, and we're going to have a 2-lap shootout probably to end this race. My God, you guys are putting on a good show, I'll tell you that. As of right now, Hines, who was in P6, just P6 a lap or 2 ago, is now in P2 behind Kev King, and he is technically on a little bit faster tires. Should the leaders pit? I don't. Unfortunately for the leader, who is Kev King, whatever decision he makes, the opposite drivers are going to make it. If he pits for softs, Hines and everyone else is probably going to stay out. If Kev King stays out, but Hines and Canuck pit, everyone behind them is probably going to pit as well. So unfortunately, Kev is at the mercy of his fellow drivers. And the problem is, if Hines and Canuck and Noob and Tilwick, let's say, pit for softs, unfortunately, the drivers behind them all have penalties. So even if they will be battling for positions that they technically already have, so right now I think track position is the biggest factor for them. So I believe there will not be any pit stops apart from 10th position and down, which is what we've seen. It seems Tafer has had a pit stop. Corky has had a pit stop. He is flying to get back to the field because when a safety car comes out this late, it does not wait for everyone to catch up. So unfortunately for Tafer, who's down in P12, who just pitted, he is probably not going to make it to the back of the field because the safety car will be in the next lap. So as we stand, the positions in the top 5 are Kev King, Hines, Canuck, Noob, and Tilwick. And if I had to take whoever... Oh, and Corky, who just came into the pit lane, even though he was on fresh softs, has a 5-second time penalty. Which is brutal for him. Actually, never mind, he has a lot of penalties as well. Not sure why he came into the pits then. Ah, so Corky came in to get rid of one of his 5-second time penalties, but then he gained a 5-second time penalty for speeding. So this was a net zero pit stop for him, unfortunately. Yeah, that was unfortunate because if he managed to pull that off, he would only have 3 seconds of time penalties right now, but he's got 8 still. So unfortunately, he will not be battling for position, most fortunately. Or unfortunately for him. It was the right decision to make, but considering it was under safety car, he didn't really have to rush into the pit lane. If I had to pick the tire to be on right now, I think I like Hines' mediums a little bit more than Kev King's hards. I don't think the hards are above the mediums just yet. Canuck's 11-lap-old hards are getting there. Noob's softs are probably entering the bad part of their life. Tilwick's on 11-lap-old hards. Yep. Mediums will get to 10s quicker because unfortunately it is very difficult to warm up the tires in this game under safety car. And then tack down in P7 all the way to Tafer and P12 are all on softs with ranging penalties. I believe the safety car will be in this lap, so unfortunately for Grayson, he will not be able to catch up to the field. But I could be mistaken. But yep, I am correct. Safety car is in this lap. This time around, Kev King will be leading the field to green. He is trying to get those hards warm up as best he can. Hines for the mediums, Canuck as well. Will Kev have a similar situation to Canuck? Will he start them off earlier? Will he start them off later? Canuck started driving right here. And it looks like Kev King is off. Oh, maybe not. Warming the tires still. And he is off now. Almost lost the car there, but he's going. Oh, looks like Sadie had a good jump on Tack here. Oh my god, he had a good jump on Tilwick. Can he make the pass stick? I think he's on the better tires. Tilwick is still there. No, it looked like a little bit of contact. Timgra is around. Oh no, that's Tilwick. Unfortunate. Tilwick was having an amazing race, but I mean, if he can get back into the track quick, there's a lot of drivers with time penalties. Unfortunate for Tilwick. I'm not sure. I'd have to take a look at the replay after that, but that did look like maybe racing incident. Kev King looks like he's able to keep Hines back a little bit. There will be no DRS for the rest of this race, so it's going to be pure pace here. Hines and Kev King basically with the same ERS. Noob a little bit further back with less, almost a second behind, followed by Canuck, who unfortunately got passed by Noob. So he's back down to P4 after leading the race almost 5 laps ago. We have a lot of battles here. Looks like Tack is under pressure for Camo and Corky. Tack is already out of ERS. They keep it clean. Camo gets by, not fully though. Little bit of wheel contact. Does Camo go for the... Oh, and Camo's exit unfortunately got a little bit compromised by Corky trying to get a good exit as well. Goes over the curb. That's going to lose him a lot of time. Dutch with a 3-second speeding or track limit penalty. Here comes Camo with crazy pace. Unfortunately, there was a Williams parked on the line he wanted to take. Can he get the pass done here? Tack looks like he's struggling on those softs a little bit. Left space. And Camo is by. Will Tack be able to... Oh my goodness, I think Corky just took out Tack. That did not look good on Corky's part. I'm not sure what happened there, but it looks like Tack just got completely spun around. There are so many penalties in this group, I'm not even sure where everyone's going to finish. I think the stewards are going to be a little bit busy tonight. I'm not sure what happened there, but Kev King on the final lap is 6/10 ahead of Hines. Had a little bit of a slow exit out of Maggots and Beckett's, but it doesn't look like Hines, unless something miraculous happens in the final 3 corners, is going to be able to catch Kev King here. Can he make something happen? Everyone is out of ERS. Can Hines get a better exit? He's close, but it's not going to be enough, and Kev King is the winner of the British Grand Prix, followed by Noob in P3. That is your podium. Northern Canuck comes home P4 after starting last. Great result for him. Jackie comes home P5. Camo, with lower penalties than the drivers around him, comes home P6. Timgra P7. Dutch P8. Tack P9. Tafer P10. Tilwick, unfortunately, gets a... He retires. Not sure what happened there. He was P11. He is retiring on track as we watch him because I can't switch POVs. And that is the end to your chaotic Tier 2 British Grand Prix. And there's your winner, Kev King, followed by Hines in the Alpine, and Noob in the Ferrari. That is your podium. Seems like there is a little bit of a sound glitch going on right now, which is unfortunate. But here is your final finishing order. Kev King comes home to take the victory after getting a drive-through penalty at the start of the race. Amazing comeback for him. Hines, starting P1, was unable to secure the victory even with Kev King's drive-through penalty. Noob comes home in P3, just ahead of Northern Canuck with an amazing comeback drive for him, starting dead last. Finishing off the top 5, we got Sadie Jackie. Camo with an amazing result as well, coming home from a pretty rough start to the race in P6. Timgra, who looked like the third fastest man on track with the fastest lap, he's only going to get P7 due to penalties. Dutch comes home in P8. He started P17. Pretty good race for him as well. Tag Delta looked like he maybe had a chance of winning the race at the second last safety car, but he got eaten up alive. That puts him P9, and rounding out the top 10, Tafer coming home in the second AlphaTauri. The rest of the grid, if we look at them, Corky in the Alpine, Grayson in the McLaren, and I couldn't get the rest of them. Unfortunate. I wanted to name everyone. Now, I'm not sure if the drivers would like to do interviews, but if they do add me, I don't mind doing interviews with them. If Canuck is watching the stream and the podium drivers would like an interview, I am more than willing to accommodate them. Let me just add him, just so he knows. Let's see if the Tier 2 drivers would like some interviews. I would not be opposed, but I need for Canuck to let them know. While we wait for a potential response, that was definitely a race, gentlemen. That was a fun race to commentate. I'm sure it was a fun race to actually watch. Lots of chaos from start to finish. I am happy that all of you seem to enjoy it. Thank you for Palani and Dermer for commentating on the stream, and I could chat with you guys while things were a little slow. And if you guys stick around, we may get interviews from the top 3. Northern Canuck has seen my message, so we will see if the top 3 would like interviews. I do have a party chat with Canuck set up, so if you wanted to just add them to this party chat, that would make it the easiest for me. unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get any interviews unless we get a last-minute jump in from the top 3. We'll give them a couple more minutes just in case, because it doesn't look like they usually doesn't look like any of them, or PRL does interviews usually, but maybe we can get that trend going, because I do actually like to listen to the drivers at the end of the race. You actually get thought processes that you don't really get to think about when you're a commentator. So I'll give them till, I don't know, give them till, I guess, 5:20, just to see if any of them hop in last minute. But if any of you guys have questions for the race or the upcoming season, let me know and I will answer them while we're still live. And I mean, honestly, it doesn't have to be top 3 drivers either. If the top 3 guys can't come, I can take anyone who raced that wants to jump in for an interview. Absolutely, Polani. It was a pleasure. Yeah, I try my best considering I'm alone. Usually when you're 2 guys, it's much easier to kind of just talk off each other, and they'll notice things that you don't notice. You'll notice things that they don't. Makes it, I guess, a little easier, but I do love the sport. I love, absolutely, Dermer. That was a great first race. Lots of penalties. Hopefully the tier 2 guys listen to us and die down a little bit on those. But regardless, the racing was great. Lots of clean side-by-side battles that didn't lead to contact. I think we only saw like 2 incidents between drivers. So that was a pretty good showing by tier 2. And of course, while we're here, and maybe if we're waiting for someone, I will give you guys the upcoming schedule. So, Great Britain is now finished, so next week we will be treated to, personally, my favorite track in the game, and a gem to race, Austria, the Red Bull Ring. That will be next week, next Sunday. Obviously, Prem tier will be first, followed by Tier 1, and then Tier 2. I believe the times are 11:45 Eastern, 1:30 Eastern, and 3:30 Eastern specifically. And for all the British guys out there, you guys can do your own conversions. I'm not going to whip out a conversion, but I believe you guys are 5 hours ahead of us, so easy calculations. So unfortunately, unless we get a response from any of the top 3, or anyone who raced really, we will be ending the stream in a couple minutes. Looks like Hines and Noob are unavailable for interviews. I will give them, well, I'll give Kev King a couple minutes just in case he wants to hop in since we're still streaming. For any of you who are still watching, what was your moment of the race? At least for the people that watched the whole thing, because there were a lot of moments to pick from. Personally, I think the battle between Timger and Maddie at the midpoint of the race was actually really good between the Ferrari and the AlphaTauri. That was a good, like 5-lap scrap that those guys had. And unfortunately for Maddie, he did not get to finish the race due to a AI retirement. There's a lot of battles basically throughout the entire pack, so it was a splendid race to watch. I'll tag Kev because it may seem like he can hop in. Let's see. Oh yeah, looking at that video that Dutch just sent, seems like the pit limiter speed was having a little bit of a moment in the race. It kept going from red to green. That doesn't look right. He also had a front row seat of Maddie's AI retirement. Well, doesn't look like we're going to get any interviews this week, but considering that the drivers didn't know about it, that's alright. But tune in next week, Austria, Sunday. Oh, hey Kev, you're actually here. Do you want to hop into my party chat and we can do a quick little interview before you hop away, if that's alright with you? I was about to end the stream, but if you're here, I'd like to get an interview of the race winner at least. Let me see, are you on PlayStation by any chance, Kev? That looks like you. It looks like you're on PlayStation. I will add you. Ah, can't send friend requests due to privacy. Unfortunate. Gotcha. Gotcha, Kev. Alright, well, unfortunately, we are not going to get an interview of the race winner, but next week we definitely will. Everyone will be up to speed. There will be interviews at the end of the race, so the podium drivers will get to hop in and tell us about their race. But that is it for Tier 2, PLR Season 8, Round 1 at Great Britain. Thank you all for joining me. It was a splendid race to watch and commentate on. And I will see you guys all next week. Polani, I expect you to be there after our race. And yeah, see you guys all next week. Good luck to the rest of your week. And I will see you all next week. Ciao, ciao.